Okay, hi guys, my name is Shelby and welcome to Voice for the Vanished. Today I will be covering the absolutely heartbreaking case of Luke Stout. His nickname was Lukey. His case is incredibly heartbreaking, just like all the rest. But this case involves a lot of people and the family, as well as law enforcement. And I even believe that a lot more people know something. There are people out there living their everyday lives who know something about this young man's disappearance and just aren't saying anything. Now, before I get into all that, let's start from the beginning. Let's talk about how this went down because it is very, very important to understand all the details of this case. So, you know, if you saw something and maybe you didn't even realize it at the time, or if you do know something, you realize how insanely terrible it is that you're keeping some sort of secret. So this all began on July 18th, 2012. In Buchanan, West Virginia, just 24 years old, Luke Stout would be seen for the last time and disappear under incredibly suspicious circumstances. Luke was just a very kind and loving individual. At just 24 years old, he was devoted to caring for his terminally ill mother. He was a skilled carpenter and artist, just a super soft and loving guy, just really enjoying life with his mother, caring for her, and doing things he loved, like art. Sadly, not everyone in Luke's life was so loving and unproblematic. Let's say he had ties to a man known as Chino. Full name, I'm sorry if I pronounce this incorrectly, Rodolfo Villagomez Correa. This man held Luke at gunpoint and threatened to kill him. Luke immediately reported this to the police, but they simply turned him away. I don't have all the details of why the police turned him away, but it is possible that the police just didn't see this as much of anything. Maybe they looked at him as, a punk. That's very possible, although Luke had no history of really getting in trouble or being someone of a suspicious nature. I am unsure of why they really turned him away, but Chino has not been officially linked to this case. But Chino in 2015 was charged for the disappearance and murder of this young man on the screen right here. His name is Joshua Oberg. And I'm sorry, you guys, I cannot find a lot of details revolving this case. It's a couple articles, and most of them are very short. I don't really know why. But apparently, Joshua, again, the man on the screen, was having an affair with Chino's wife. There are more recent articles dating to like last year, so 2019, saying that Chino actually hired some other man to take out the murder on Joshua Oberg. Chino hired Heater and another individual, Robert Eugene, $5,000 to kill Joshua because he believed he was having an affair with his wife. So he didn't technically kill him, but he, obviously hired him. So this obviously makes things a million times more complicated, as Chino is again the man who held Luke Stout at gunpoint and threatened to kill him because he also believed that Luke was having an affair with his wife. We are unsure at this point whether Luke was or was not having an affair with his wife. There is evidence that they didn't know each other, but obviously just knowing each other is not an affair. But there is some Facebook posts that I have found in a deep dive of Luke's saying different things that clearly are about this incident. So I'm going to put them on the screen right now. This one is from Luke that says, "Sick of all the effing threats." And then someone comments, "They're not going to do anything, only run their mouths. Don't let them get you down. It's a waste of time to get upset about you two, a good person, to have to put up with morons crap." I did find this Facebook post in a very deep dive, which already had the commenter's name scratched out, so I'm unsure of who actually left this comment, but it's obviously someone just trying to help him out, but knows the situation, at least somewhat. But Then Luke comments back. I think it's a little bit cut off in this post, but Luke comments back, LOL, you have no idea, which makes me sick to my stomach. I think that at least I can assume. What I can assume is he's saying this person who commented has no idea of what they actually can do, because obviously the commenter says that they're not going to do anything. But I think Luke definitely believed that there's something they could do and that they could overpower him easily when clearly Chino is a big, muscly man, and Luke definitely seems like a tinier, dude. He's not as buff as Chino is, and I'm sure Luke heard or knew or even saw the different things that Chino could do to someone. This next Facebook post says, I would see whoever I effing want, which goes to the fact that maybe he was having an affair with Chino's wife, which, again, not confirmed. This could possibly be about anyone. But he then has another Facebook post that says, if a girl and a guy talk, does this mean they're effing? So again, it is impossible to say if he is for sure speaking about Chino and his wife, but it is really easy to assume, as this was all happening around the same time these Facebook posts are going up. So from what I can gather, it is impossible to really assume if he was or wasn't having an affair with his wife, which is why the police and officials, as well as his family, don't really have an answer to that. His family says they don't believe that he was. They feel like they would have known. But again, it's really impossible to know without, speaking with Chino's wife or Luke. And from what I can gather, I have tried to find people speaking with Chino's wife because she seems to be the underlying person of this all. But I can't find anyone talking to her. I can't find anyone writing anything about her. So whether or not she is the cause of these things or Chino's just using that as an excuse, it's hard to say. Maybe she doesn't want to talk to the public. Maybe the police are keeping what she's saying under wraps to keep the integrity of the case. I really do not know. Now, going to the actual day that Luke disappeared, again, July 18th, 2012, Luke told his mother and brother that he was leaving for the day. He was going to take his bike to a friend of his to get it fixed so that he could ride it. He had a car, but from the information I can find, I believe that he forgot to pay his car insurance. So he needed to, get his bike to get everything back in order until he could use his car again. So he was going to a friend to get his bike fixed. He was last seen walking while carrying his green bike frame. When he did not come home that day, his mother and brother were incredibly worried. They called the police. Sadly, as most officers and police stations do, when a child isn't a child and they're 24 years old and they go missing under circumstances like this, the police will tell the families to just wait a couple days, see if they come back. Maybe they went off with a girl, maybe they went off, to do something they didn't want their family to know about, even though the family did tell them multiple times that this was incredibly uncharacteristic of him and told them about the things that happened with Chino. They just told them to wait a few days. His brother found his bike sitting next to a store. Again, this was just the frame. It had not been fixed. So it was clear that something happened to Luke before he even got his bike fixed while he was walking to said friend's house. There are not many more factual details about this case that I can find online, and it just breaks my heart. It has been so long since he has went missing, and this family, his mother in this picture, just wants some closure. They just want justice for Luke. The police actually refused all search groups to look for Luke, which is incredibly suspicious to me. I've never really seen something like that. I have seen, police departments refuse help from outsiders, but they completely refused help. They didn't do search groups at all for Luke. And no matter how many people offered to help, they just were shut down by the local police department, which is incredibly suspicious to me. I don't completely understand why that was happening, and from what I can find, no one really knows exactly why, not even the family, so that just breaks my heart even more. Now, like I said in the beginning of this video, there are people out there who know more than they're letting on. There are people who know even the littlest details who aren't saying anything that need to say something. The littlest detail can crack this case and help bring justice for Luke's family and to Luke. It's just not fair that they have to go through life without their child and go through life so heartbroken about not knowing and just thinking of all the worst possibilities that have happened. And as I always ask you guys, I don't care who you believe in, what you believe in, or what you don't believe in. Please send prayers, good thoughts, good vibes, strength, love, and hope. Anything good Luke's way, as well as Luke's family's way, as they really need that now and forever. Again, if you know something, say something. Every detail counts. And I want to thank you guys for clicking on this video and listening to Luke's story. And if you haven't yet, please hit the subscribe button down below. It is a really easy and free way to help me out and helps me continue making videos like this for a very long time. I love you guys. Thank you for sticking with me, and thank you for all the support. It really means the world to me. Please stay safe, stay aware, and be kind. It's super simple to be kind. I love you guys, okay? See you next time. Bye.